and it's my pleasure to be here with all of you. Such a wonderful group. Glad that everyone could make it. So, diabetes is really common. Three main types. We have type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and then pregnancy diabetes.
Oh.
Okay.
The most common type is type 2. What type do you have?
Type 2. So that's somebody you would call diabetic? Oh. Yours?
She has pre-diabetes.
Pre-diabetes, okay. I'm glad that she told us that. Pre-diabetes used to be called borderline diabetes. Have you heard of that? Borderline.
Yeah, I'm borderline.
Okay, so.
Me too.
All right, now we got more.
See.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Borderline diabetes is actually now called pre-diabetes.
Okay.
We changed the name of that about 6 years ago because when we heard borderline, we really said, nah, that's not a big deal. I don't have it. I don't need to do anything about borderline. But pre-diabetes is more important. That's a stronger word.
Pre means coming.
Stronger, more important. And what that means is a condition that the blood sugar is not normal, but not high enough to be called diabetes. This is a very important area because if you have pre-diabetes, you can actually make some changes in your eating, make some changes in your exercise, and
I told you.
possibly prevent type 2 diabetes. Because once you get type 1 or type 2, that's forever.
Yeah, my wife had one. Yeah.
Insulin.
Yeah.
Insulin.
Really, it's
serious.
yeah, too bad. That's correct.
Okay. So I'm here today because Miss Teresa really wanted all of you who had an interest in diabetes, whatever type it may be, for you all to have an opportunity to ask me any questions at all that you may have.
Okay.
So this is your time. I will open the floor for any questions. Yes, sir.
How can you prevent if you have the development of pre-diabetes? How can you prevent that?
Preventing pre-diabetes, it's the thin, fine line. You have to take a look at the risk factors that you had or have that makes you susceptible or vulnerable to having this condition. Some things we cannot change. For example, our age. Age is a risk factor for prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. The older we get, the more susceptible we are. Another thing is genetics, where and who we come from. We cannot change our genes. A strong family history of diabetes makes us more susceptible to prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. We cannot change our ethnicity or our race. Certain ethnicities are more susceptible to prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Now, when you look at all of those ethnicities, Asians, Hispanics, African Americans, and even the Indian population, a big part of that is traditional food. Food from our heritage. And what is notable, especially here in the South, is a good way of eating. And who knows what a good way of eating? What's that called? What type of food do we have in the South? What's it called?
Soul food.
Like
soul
soul
food. Soul food. Soul food has 3 ingredients. Who can name them?
What? What them food cook what? Fat? Where there's ribs and ham and all of that.
Fat. Fat is one ingredient. What else?
All this stuff you pour in, like
Seasoning.
Yeah, spicy.
Okay, salt. Salt is another thing in soul food. Fat and salt. One more ingredient in soul food.
Sugar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Sugar. Sugar. Those 3. And you can go to a website on the internet. It's called the CDC, the Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention. The CDC website. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. And they take a look at all of our states and are able to tell us where are the heaviest states, where are the thinnest states, what states have more diabetes, what states have more heart disease, what states have more strokes, so forth and so on. So I will ask you, what states do you think has more obesity, more diabetes, more heart disease?
Probably the South. What about Mexico? What? In the South.
Definitely.
The southern states.
Definitely.
The whole southern thing, yes.
We are known as the Southern Belt. There are 15 southern states that have the highest prevalence of problems. Tennessee is not number 1, thank goodness. We're number 6.
Number 6.
What is the state?
We have to try harder.
What's-
Who's first?
Mississippi. They have been first for 5 years. Mississippi has been first for 5 years. Number 2 is Alabama.
2, Alabama.
And 3, West Virginia.
West Virginia. West Virginia.
What about the skinniest state? Who thinks that they can name the skinniest state?
Somebody north.
Yes.
Not me. No, it's not you.
It is in the north.
Right. No. Wait, what, California?
No? Good guess. It does start with the C.
Yeah, I've never been there, so I don't know.
Colorado. Colorado is the skinniest state.
Oh, yeah.
That's your food.
Well, I'm going to move there. I'm moving. You took.
Well,
Leave him here.
the reality of the situation is sometimes we're faced with things that are a part of who we are. We've grown up in the South learning and loving food, and food really does define us as a person. But food is the biggest thing that we have to be concerned with such a disease process as diabetes.
There's some deaf that smart, or maybe some that don't read very well, and sometimes it's hard for them to protect themselves from a diabetic situation. What can we do about that?
Well, certainly there are many resources available for people that may have special needs. For example, I have brought today some of those types of resources, and I've left those at the front desk. So people who may not read well, I have complete information about diabetes and everything that you would need to know in a very simplistic package.
Yeah, because some words might be long or something, and they just don't know.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Oh. Beverly says, now my husband, he has type 2. Now, I guess he does starch. He doesn't really do a lot of sugar, you know? I mean, there's the starches, and then there's salt, and you mentioned the fat, but he knows that he has starches. I'm sorry, let me say it right. The starchy reason to have the diabetic condition.
We don't catch diabetes from liking starch or sugar. You can't catch it. You have to have risk factors, and the more risk factors you have over a long period of time, then the diabetes develops. It has nothing to do with liking sugar or not liking sugar. Now, sugar does impact the blood sugar. Eating too much starch at one time raises the blood sugar too high.
So somehow that starch has got to be reduced.
Yes. And
2 kinds of sugars. I mean, there's 2 kinds of sugars. What do you call it? What kind of sugar?
carbohydrates.
Well, forget it.
No, let's talk about sugar. Okay? The sugar,
Well, there's Splenda and those.
that's not sugar. That's artificial. Splenda is a good thing.
Yellow, blue.
Yes.
Not real.
Real sugar. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Talk about that.
Okay?
Now, clear.
All right. Glucose is one word for sugar. Glucose.
You see that? Major. That's glucose. That's one sugar.
Fructose is in all of that fruit that's been provided today. Fructose is fruit sugar. Okay? Sucrose. Sucrose is white table sugar.
White. Sugar.
White
sugar.
table sugar.
Regular sugar.
Yes.
But the powdered sugar, same thing?
Powdered sugar. Yes.
Sucre.
Sucrose. It's a processed sucrose. Yes.
Okay.
So let's talk about some food items that we know sugar is in, because some of this information may be familiar, but I bet some of you are going to be quite surprised where sugar is actually found. Okay? So let's name give me a couple hands. Who's ever willing to volunteer, raise your hand and tell us a food item that you think sugar is in.
What? A potato.
Yes.
I was very surprised about potato.
Yes,
It's pretty
potatoes
nice.
are a starchy vegetable. Starchy vegetable.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That kind of
Yes,
starch. That kind of
starchy
starch.
vegetables.
That-
There's two groups of vegetables. Two groups of vegetables. A starchy group,
Starch.
potatoes, sweet peas, corn, beans, lentils. That's starch. Has sugar. That has sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, but still people like to eat that.
Oh, definitely. We need to eat it. A person with
Well, what about
diabetes.
yams?
Yes, starchy.
Yeah, that's starch.
Sweet potatoes, starchy.
Red potato. That. And what about the meats and stuff?
Meats are a protein or a fat. However, we are very famous here in the South for corrupting our meat.
Plain?
So how do we corrupt our meat? By
Putting
the
on
things
stuff.
that we add to it. So for example, Monday is a holiday.
Right?
And what do we usually eat on Memorial Day?
What flavor?
What?
Yeah. Ribs.
Ribs, barbecue, baked beans.
Baked beans. T-bones.
Oh yeah. So the meat is a good choice. The meat is a good choice. But it's what we add to it that determines how much sugar we're eating. So the barbecue sauce is high in sugar. Okay? The baked beans has ketchup and barbecue sauce. That's sugar. Ketchup and barbecue sauce is sugar. Okay?
Yeah, okay. So mother and father, they go pouring that in there and they learn from mother and father and then stuff gets inherited all the
Exactly.
time.
That's what I mean by food is part of us. It's ingrained. It's part of who we are. So, am I going to sit here and tell you that you can't have ribs? Can't have baked beans? No, I would never say that. You can. You can have anything that a person without diabetes can eat. The main difference is
What is different?
moderation. All things in moderation. All things.
Yeah. Okay? A bit. Take a bit. Well, what foods do I need to avoid then? What to avoid?
There's
What?
nothing to avoid. Nothing.
Okay.
We teach our patients you can have cake, pie, cookies, ice cream. Okay? You can have all of that.
I know nothing about ice cream.
Small amounts and spread out through the day.
Oh, okay. Frozen vegetables.
Okay? When we're talking about vegetables, we first like to suggest fresh. If you can get it and afford it. Fresh is best. Fresh is best. Next is fresh frozen. Third is canned. Okay? But we have to be careful with canned because they do add a lot of sugar and salt to the canned vegetables. So if you have blood pressure problems, we need to rinse those vegetables before we cook them. Okay, but the doctor or the nurse's job is to explain to you the benefits of doing it this way. And if you choose not to, then the possible risk of not doing it that way. It's your choice and will always be your choice.
I'm sorry, I think you had a question a long time ago. You remember your question? Yeah. Hands, okay, as far as the meat, yeah, the meat should only be a small size, right?
Well, we do like to use our palm of our hand to justify or signify one serving of meat. My palm is about 4 ounces. Okay, and that's a good size of meat. For example, a steak of 4, maybe 6 ounce steak. Okay, but the thing about meat is a protein and a fat. Has nothing to do with sugar. Nothing to do with sugar.
Well, but then corn though.
Corn is a starchy vegetable. It has sugar. Okay? So a half a cup of corn is 1 sugar serving. Most adults get 4 sugar servings per meal. So for example, if you wanted only corn, and I told you a half a cup is 1 sugar. So if you had a full cup, that's 2 sugars. You get 4. So you pick 2 more sugars.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, then it starts to get to you. Yeah.
Well, it is a skill. It is a skill, and it's a very important skill when a person has diabetes and they're trying to get their blood sugar in a safe zone.
Yeah, so it's just got to get lessened there.
That's right.
Can I offer to the factory to stop making sugar so that we save lives? I mean, seems.
People have, yes, people for many, many years have had the same concern. They have had the same best interest for our society in general. But the reality of the situation is, it's a choice. We as Americans have a choice, and not everybody would agree to not have sugar available.
100% don't sugar. You think that happened? Question over here.
Yes, sir.
If you're cooking raw, and then you add some sugar in that, and you cook in some more until it's all done. When it's well done, and then does it lessen the sugar?
No, it actually, according to the glycemic index, I know that's a big word, which means how concentrated an item is with sugar. When we add sugar to a food, even though we cook it down and it seems that the sugar disappears or lessens, it actually becomes concentrated. So this is my suggestion. Just 1 second.
Please.
This is my suggestion. If you want to add sugar to the foods that you're cooking, get the bags of Splenda, the cooking Splenda or the cooking Equal. That makes it taste like sugar,
Is the
but
bag
it's
small
not,
or big?
it's different sizes, small or large. At Walmart, Kroger, everywhere. It's cooking sugar.
Oh,
But
I
it's
see.
artificial. It's artificial. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So cooking the meat on a pan, cooking in a pan or in the oven, which is better?
Either. It's
No.
Either.
either is fine. In the oven, on the grill.
But the grease goes away when it's in the oven, right? But then you still got it all wet at the top.
Well. Wait just a second. Does the meat have skin on it?
Like chicken? Well, the fat you take, you cut away the
That's right.
fat. And
That's right. That's right. But if you cook that chicken on the top of the stove in a pan or in the oven, if it's no skin, there's no fat.
No skin?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Skin?
That's the fat.
Right. That's good. Okay. No skin. Fat gone. Okay. Sorry, a while ago you kept going. I wonder if I could go back.
Yes. Yes.
Back to the fruit, the
Yes.
starchy. Now,
Yes.
can that affect somebody that is diabetic?
Oh, definitely. That is what affects somebody that's diabetic.
Why? I mean, I eat a lot of fruit,
Right.
but there's a lot of sugar in there. But
Fruit, it doesn't matter where we get sugar from. Doesn't matter if it's fruit, and yes, fruit is a healthier choice versus a piece of cake or a piece of pie. It's a healthier choice. But once we swallow it and it goes to the stomach, the body can't tell, was that a piece of fruit or was that a Little Debbie snack cake? The body can't tell. It all digests down to sugar, glucose, all of it. Sugar is sugar is sugar.
okay. So everybody can get diabetes?
If we have the risk factors for diabetes, yes. Technically, everybody could get diabetes if they had the risk factors or the makings for diabetes.
Richard, there's a cake. You put in for the cake, you take out the sweeteners and all that, and you just have no sugar in the cake.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because that is one of the points that confuse most of my patients. In reality, when we see something that says sugar-free, we automatically think that we can have massive amounts. Sugar? Sugar? Wait.
Well, what? But diabetics can like use it for.
Sugar-free means we didn't add any extra sugar. Let's take an apple pie. A sugar-free apple pie. Apples contain fructose, which is sugar.
That's sugar.
But we didn't add any extra white table sugar to it when we baked it. That's what it means to be sugar-free. It still has sugar. I promise.
But then they put in some of the other stuff, some of the other ingredients, those other things.
That's right. But if you look at the food label, which I have included.
Question about what's the limit? In other words, the limit of sodium. How about that?
It's really dependent on if you have blood pressure issues or no blood pressure issues. The general recommendation for salt is 300 milligrams per day. Yeah. And it's real easy to get that much. I mean, because if we're eating a lot of processed foods, for example, bologna, hot dogs, TV dinners, okay, we can get soup. Condensed soup has a lot of sodium. We can get our daily recommendation of salt real easy. So, yes, so we're not supposed to add any to it. So what can we do?
Yeah, you know, like chicken pot pie. I was eating chicken pot pie, and oh my God, the sodium was like over 1,000.
Over 1,000. Yes, it is.
Because of the pasta or the pastry.
No, it's the condensed soup that the filling is made from. The thickening of the pot pie is the sodium concentration. Looking at cans of condensed soup, they're extremely high, like 1,200 milligrams. So that's and it's
300.
yeah.
200.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's real easy.
Really? Homemade soup, is that okay?
If it's a thin based, like chicken noodle or vegetable beef, then yeah, if you don't add the salt shaker to it, then it's a really good choice. It's a really good choice.
You said, now you're talking about a can that
Yes.
you just open it up
Yes.
and pour it in?
Yes. If you
Can.
look on,
Well, that's in the ingredients, yeah.
yeah,
Right.
but there's lower salted soup right next to it. It says lower sodium, 1/3 less sodium, 1/2 less sodium. Okay.
Question over there. Cabbage with the water, boiled cabbage.
Yes, that's a free item. It's totally free, no sugar. You can eat as much cabbage as you want. Yes.
Okay. In the cans of vegetables, there's salt in there too.
Yes. Yes. Rinse them. Pour them into a colander
Yeah. Right.
Pour
Pour
'em
out the water.
and rinse them. Now let's talk about some things we can use to make our food taste salty, but it's not salt. Okay? So what can we do? What can we do? We can,
Well, if you're just out of salt, you just be out of salt.
well,
Just don't
but
waste salt.
we don't want to cheat ourselves from quality. Because remember what I said, 3 things make food taste good. Fat, salt, and sugar. When we start removing those things, we impact the quality of our taste. So let me give you some.
Says never what? Never, what, never saw before? So this is new for you? Okay. Well,
Is she learning?
yeah, you learned now, right? Yeah, that's what it's for. Okay, so you got chicken and you
Yes.
you want to add maybe some ketchup or something to make it taste better.
Yes. Some ketchup is fine. 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of ketchup, you don't count it. Okay? But if you use more than 2 tablespoons, then we have to count it as sugar.
So it's small.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
what I said, moderation. All things in moderation.
Not too much. A little bit low.
Okay? So let me give them some suggestions of what we can do. What we can do to make our food taste good, but without the extra salt. Okay?
What? Like turkey, bacon, and stuff like that, right?
Turkey legs. Turkey legs and our turnip greens, our beans. Okay? Another suggestion is oxtails, and I know they're greasy. Okay,
Oh, I love them.
some people don't like it, but it seasons the beans, it seasons the greens. Okay?
Oh, wow, that's disgusting.
It's not for everybody.
No.
Okay?
Yeah, I think it's better to put in butter.
Well, butter is not sugar, butter is fat. Okay?
Unsalted butter, yeah.
You could, that's a
But
better choice.
I
That's a better choice.
I do use the smoked turkey neck.
Yes.
The turkey neck, I use
Yes.
that, and that
Yes.
seems to reduce salt too.
Yes.
I saw another hand over here. Okay. If I don't use the fat or some of this other stuff, I can always use the olive oil.
Yes, and olive oil and canola oil, those are the 2 best oils. When you're choosing a grease, you want to get a polyunsaturated grease. And
Sorry, what was the other one? The olive.
Yeah, olive and
oil.
canola.
Those two.
Okay? Polyunsaturated. Which means
What does that mean?
you pick a grease that's liquid at room temperature. Liquid at room temperature. Okay? Thank goodness we've gotten away from the Crisco.
Crisco.
Okay?
Crisco.
Because that's causing a lot of heart troubles. Heart troubles.
What about peanut oil?
Peanut oil is okay, however, lots of peanut oil can cause you to gain a whole lot more weight versus canola or olive. Peanut oil is usually what we deep fry turkeys in. Makes it taste really, really good, but it's super concentrated with fats.
And it can be hard to eat too. You
Yeah.
really go, yeah. What? That some people eat and get fat, but I can eat it. I try to eat and I don't get fat. Oh well. But anyway, that subject. But what about the baby foods? Is there sugars and salts and all of that, and the Gerbers and all of those?
Some, but not as much as real food. They have decreased the amount of salt and sugar in baby food because the baby really doesn't need all of that while he or she is growing. It's when we transfer them over to table food that they start getting the increased salt and sugar. But baby food, there's a whole big committee that is in on the nutritional value for newborns and toddlers and infants. So that's a government mandation on the items that need to be contained within baby food. So it is better. It's less salt, less sugar.
Why the government force that? Why does the government force that? And FDA checks it and approves it for babies.
Well, it's nutrition. It's fresh vegetables that have been processed according to standard with just minimal amounts of salt and sugar. Okay? Babies, just like older people, need salt and sugar, but tremendously lesser amounts than what we do.
And then when the baby grows, that leads to them tasting all these other things and add it on, and then that goes on.
That's true. But it's, babies can't make those decisions. It's ultimately the adult's responsibility. So, for example, if we give our baby table foods before the recommendation, which is a year old, you're really not supposed to do that because this teaches the baby to want that and they don't want the baby food anymore. Yeah.
Sugar.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Here. Vinegar.
Vinegar is a free food, has no sugar whatsoever. I know what she's probably thinking, that she may have read something about vinegar is good. It helps to boil away fat. It helps to decrease the sugar level. There's a lot of literature going out there right now talking about vinegar.
Well, but then there's two. There's an apple vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar. That's usually the one that you do the most cooking with. Okay, if you're going to use a vinegar, apple cider is the most pleasing to the palate, meaning the mouth prefers it, so it's used oftentimes in cooking preparations. And then the white distilled vinegar is, there's all different kinds of uses for that as well, but it's not as preferred as the apple cider. The apple cider tastes better in food preparation.
I always use the apple. Always
Yeah.
apple.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just tastes
with
better.
meat. Tastes with meat. Yeah.
Tastes better.
Oh.
Meat and fish.
Would it? Yeah. The meat. The barbecue. You have sometimes you pour beer on there. What's going on there?
Yeah, and beer's okay. Beer's okay. We teach our patients with diabetes that you can still have beer. Men can have 2 beers per day if you have diabetes, safely. 2 beers per day. Women can have 1 per day. Okay? So beer is completely fine. Beer does have sugar because of the fermenting process. The wheat, the barley, the natural grains. So it does ferment. So there is some carbs or sugars in beer. Okay? Now, hard liquor, and I'm not advocating for hard liquor, but hard liquor,
Not yet.
usually doesn't contain as much. Yeah. Okay?
Now, there's some of them that's going to the beer does have the sugar. It's
Yeah, it
you'll even
does.
see it, and liquor does too. I've seen that. Wine too.
Well, it depends. With the hard liquor, usually it doesn't. It's what we mix with the hard liquor. For example, bourbon and Coke. Bourbon and Coke. Coke's got the sugar. Yeah. What's the one that you, vodka and orange juice? Okay, vodka and orange juice. The orange juice has the sugar. Okay.
Let's choose those shoes.
Margarita. Margarita. The Rita has the sugar. Okay?
And the- yeah.
Strawberry daiquiri. The strawberry part has the sugar. Yeah, but the liquor does not. It's what we mix with it. It's what we mix with the hard liquor. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, wine.
Now, wine's a different story. Wine is made with grapes. Grapes are fructose, fruit sugar. Okay? So, yes, you can have wine. It's usually a 4-ounce serving. 4-ounce glass, which is what they serve you at a restaurant. That's 1 sugar serving. 4 ounces of wine. And that's any type. Red, white, doesn't matter. Has the same amount.
One thing though, if you look, bananas are kind of high too, because they have a lot of sugar.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That banana you have on your plate, okay, is that a medium? Okay, that's a medium. It's a little bit bigger than a small. If it was a little bit smaller, that'd be 1 sugar. But that's about 1.5 sugar. That's about 1.5. We get 4. Yeah, half of a big one. Half of a big one is 1 sugar. Half of a big banana is 1 sugar. So that one, because it's a medium, is about 1 1/2. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's fine. It's perfectly fine.
If it's a really long one.
Half is 1 sugar. Half of a large banana is 1 sugar.
One new. There's a banana that is a small.
The pequeñas.
Pequeña.
It's just means small. Yeah, the baby ones, pequeños, the small ones. That's 1 sugar. Well, actually, you probably get 2 of those with 1 sugar because they're small. And there's different versions. There's the really, really tiny ones and then the ones that are a little bit bigger. So about 2 of those would be 1. 1 sugar, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I want to know, is it good to have, okay, to add, well, yeah, what was your question, Mom? About the wine, are you, yeah,
Strawberries and
yeah, you were asking about strawberries with,
Adding
not
fruit?
the shake.
Oh, the smoothies? Okay.
smoothie.
Yeah,
Okay.
and this is a marketing thing. There's so much publication and promotion of, oh, we need to be fit with the smoothies. It's fresh food. It's good for our body. Well, there again, if you go to Smoothie King, because that's the most popular place, Smoothie King. Everybody heard of Smoothie King? Yeah.
Right.
They sell a 40-ounce smoothie. 40 ounce. Okay. That is way too much sugar. That's probably 10 to 14 servings of sugar in that 40 ounce. Okay? So it's misleading sometimes.
Oh, healthy. Yeah, I make that at home though, for myself.
What? Ask her what she makes. What do you make?
So you like what's that? What you put? What? I put ice, and you saying water, wine? No, strawberry. Strawberry. She's doing different
How many?
things.
How many? How many strawberries?
How many strawberries? How many? 3 or 4. 3 or
Okay.
4.
Okay. About 4 to 5 big strawberries is 1 sugar. So we got 1.
1 sugar.
That's 1 sugar so far. What else?
What else? Strawberries, banana.
How much
Do the
banana? How much
Okay.
banana?
How many? 2 or 3.
Small,
2.
medium, large.
Small. No, just small.
Okay. 2 of those. That's 3. That's 3 sugars.
3 sugar.
What else?
Oh, so I probably should just be using 1.
Now you're
One
getting
soda.
it.
Here. Now, 3 different things, okay, in the store. There's the, the Starbucks.
Right.
and then there's a juicy something, and then there's another. Which is best for? For a smoothie?
Starbucks is no. We'll just say Starbucks is no. It has too much sugar, and plus it's very expensive. Okay, it's very expensive.
Possum. Possum is high. How do you spell possum? Oh, potassium. Oh, Potassium. Okay. Potassium. Is that something that's good or bad for diabetes?
Potassium, it doesn't impact diabetes at all. Potassium is in a lot of your fruits and vegetables, specifically your yellows, your orange, and your greens. So anything that's yellow, orange, or green is high in potassium. Okay? Potassium is critical to the heart. Okay? It helps the heart beat normally.
Good for heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, here. What about now? I make a fruit every morning. Banana, maybe strawberry, some kiwi, and I put that in ginger ale.
Mm-hmm. Is it sugar-free ginger ale?
Ginger ale has sugar or
Okay.
sugar-free?
Okay.
I use sugar-free.
Okay. In the blender, is that what she's doing, or are you doing it in the blender? Okay.
Every morning, right.
There again, let's ask her how much. We can count up the sugars.
Just count like her, then you. How many strawberry, how many banana? Okay, I would say strawberries I put in maybe 3, the bananas 1.5, the kiwi is 1 kiwi, then ice and racket it.
3. That's 3. That's 3. Now, is she having that in addition to her breakfast, or is that her breakfast?
1 drink, that's it. Just the drink, that's it.
Okay, that would be acceptable if that's what she's having for breakfast, because she really needs to have a protein with that. So I suggest her drink plus a tablespoon of peanut butter. Okay? Or, you don't like peanut butter?
Protein, you don't like peanut butter?
Yeah.
Okay, what then another choice?
A cheese. Does she like cheese?
Like cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
When you eat carbohydrates, we never should eat carbohydrates by themselves. We should always mix that with a fat or a protein. Always. Okay? We don't just need carbohydrates by themselves. We need fat and we need protein. We need a variety.
Okay, Beverly. A lot of people, they go to the Starbucks and they eat and they drink. Now, is this making people fat?
Yeah. It's high calorie. Starbucks is really, really good, but it's very extremely high calorie. It's high fat and it's high sugar. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Starbucks, so please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I just want to be perfectly clear in making sure that everybody understands places like that are very successful because they cater to our taste, our sense of quality. And let me just say it again. Things that taste really, really good have 3 things: sugar, salt, and fat. Okay?
Yeah. So, soy.
Soy is fine. Soy is a protein. Soy is a protein, and it's a good choice of protein. For example, soy burgers are less fat, higher protein than hamburgers. Okay? The in-between is turkey. So it would be soy, turkey, beef. That's the fat content, going from low to high. Soy, turkey, beef.
Chinese food. You get the chopsticks. And
We can get in trouble with Chinese food. Why? Because they're mostly buffets. And we so want to get our $4.99 worth, don't we? Yeah. We don't know how to use self-control at buffets. We cannot. We instinctively feel the need to keep going back through the line over and over again. Yes. So we have to be careful. We really try to keep our patients with diabetes out of buffets, just because psychologically we feel compelled to have to go and go and go and eat until we can't literally walk out of the place.
Oh, the popcorn. It's here.
Yes, popcorn is high in fiber. Okay, popcorn is a carb. It is a carb, but you get 6 cups of popcorn equals 1 sugar. So 6 of those cups, like she's got right there, she gets 6 of those.
You go into the movie and you buy that popcorn, the big, the barrel
Yeah.
of popcorn, and then they pour on the gallons of.
Yeah. That's really, that big bucket should be shared with 6 people. It should be shared with 6 people.
Oh no, one person could eat it all.
Exactly. And that's about 3,000 to 4,000 calories in that bucket of popcorn.
So you shouldn't eat it.
You should only eat 6 cups. You should get the small box. The small box.
But that's a habit.
Is curious, or if someone thinks that they may have diabetes or be susceptible to getting diabetes, it's a very simple blood test. If you have a doctor, a blood test, either through the finger or the arm, you can go to your doctor, your primary care doctor, and say, I want to be tested for diabetes. Okay? Yeah. Medicare and private insurance will pay for that if you have risk factors. Okay? Your race, your age, your ethnicity, if you're overweight, if you don't physically exercise, if you smoke, if you have high blood pressure, if you have cholesterol problems. Those are all risk factors. And insurance will pay for it. If you don't have insurance, you can go to the health department right over here, Jefferson, and they'll do it for free.
Yeah, right over here. Dunlap, Jefferson.
Yeah, Dunlap and Jefferson, right over here.
Health department.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
That's all I had. Yeah. Yeah. Well, same. Med. That free for you for diabetes if needed. Now I have insurance. I have that under Humana.
Yes.
And that so everything's included on that.
Yeah, should cover it.
I've got several things going on. Well, we have other people want to ask, but just hold. Okay, what? Yeah, we're not arguing a meeting, okay? There's some other people people have diabetes, and you're going up the point, but we do have people with diabetes, okay? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
What can you do when you have tingling in your hands and feet? And what foods are best for you when you have tingling?
Okay. So the question is, if you have tingling in your hands and feet, let's talk about that first. Tingling in the hands and the feet is usually an early sign of some overstimulation of your nerves. Okay? That is called neuropathy. Okay? When we are dealing with blood sugar, and how can blood sugar cause numbness and tingling in the hands and the feet? It's usually when the blood sugar is extremely high, it overexcites those nerves. So these nerves are doing this right here. Okay? All the time. Okay? Yeah. High sugar does that.
Oh, yeah, William's got that.
When you get the blood sugar down, it stops going so fast. It shorts up. Okay? It's much, much better when the blood sugar comes down. When it's high, it's doing this all the time. Okay? Now, that's one condition. There are other conditions that can cause numbness and tingling in the hands and the feet. And that's too much tyramine, which is found in a lot of processed meats and cheeses. So meats that are salt cured usually can cause this gout, which is a condition in your feet. It's burning, stabbing, paining, and you usually have to be put on medications. And the doctor will tell you, oh, no seafood, you can't have seafood, you can't eat this red meat, stay away from the steak. Yeah. Because those products are high in the tyramine. Yeah.
How do you spell that?
T-Y-R-A-I. T-R-Y-A-M-I-N-E. Tyramine. T-Y-R-A-M-I-N-E. Tyramine.
So just to be clear, if she's reading something and sees that this is in there, will you know?
No, because tyramine is not usually on a nutritional label. You just have to know the food products. And the best way to do that is to go see a registered dietitian. Yeah. Either a registered dietitian, or if it's diabetes related, a certified diabetes educator.
Somebody like her?
Yeah.
Okay. Same her diabetes specialist there?
Yeah.
Okay. That good? Okay. Healthy foods. Now, they're going to have sugar too, right? I mean,
Sure.
it can't be.
Most of what we eat, 90% of all food substances that we consume contain sugar. So the message that I'm trying to present today is that we don't need to stop eating sugar. We can never do that. We have to have sugar to live. We have to. But it's about the choices that we make. There are optimal choices versus less than optimal choices. So we want to do more optimal choices. We want to make healthier choices. So fresh veggies, fresh fruits, whole grain breads, fiber. We need fiber. Everybody needs fiber.
A balance.
Yes, a balance. Knowing that yes, we can have cake. Yes, we can have the sweet stuff. We can have anything that we want. We just need to moderate it, balance it. Not too much and not too little. Not too much and not too little. The right amount.
Okay.
Yeah, it's common sense. Once you learn it, it is common sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. You said I can't eat fish. What kind of fish? I think we were talking about this.
That's only if you have gouty arthritis.
Gout.
Only if you have gouty arthritis.
So if you eat like tilapia or something like that, because I can't eat the buffalo fish has too much grease.
Yeah, buffalo fish is very greasy. Tilapia is a really good choice, and so is salmon. Salmon and tilapia are really good choices. If you have gout in the feet,
Sometimes.
yeah, then you're supposed to limit that. Just a limit, maybe once a week. But if your gout starts flaring up, then you're supposed to not eat it at all. Then you're supposed to stop.
Okay. Yeah. I know. I love spaghetti.
Okay.
You love spaghetti?
I do too.
So what's the question? Okay, spaghetti. Okay. How bad is that?
No, it's not bad. Don't ever think anything's bad. It's not bad. Okay? It's how much you eat at that particular meal. Okay? So,
Is that good?
so how much could you have? Okay, just a regular bowl. Okay? a regular bowl, and just, enough sauce to coat it, not drown it, but to coat it, so you can get the quality of taste. Okay?
Okay,
It's
Yeah.
just moderation.
Let's go over here and we'll come back over here.
Yes, if you take insulin, do you still feel sick, a little bit sick?
Insulin is a hormone that's made from the pancreas. Okay? When we eat sugar, the blood sugar level rises, and we need that matching amount of insulin. So if a person is on insulin, the whole purpose is to bring the blood sugar level down. Now sometimes in a person that takes insulin, it brings the blood sugar down and maybe brings it down too much or brings it down low. Then we start feeling nervous, we start feeling shaky, we start feeling queasy, we start feeling weak. When the blood sugar level goes too low, we can feel sick. We can feel very sick. So if insulin is causing the blood sugar to go too low, yes. The same holds true if we're on insulin, but it's not enough insulin to take care of the sugar. Sugar that's real high can make us feel sick. Sugar that goes high makes us go to the bathroom very, very frequently. It makes us want to drink water, everything. Okay? Makes us feel tired, makes us feel weak. So, when the sugar's not right, when it's high, we can feel bad. When it's low, we can feel bad. And that is essentially what diabetes means. Diabetes is a condition in which the blood sugar is too high or the blood sugar is too low.
Let's say his number is 200.
Right?
So right now he's bad at 200. So he does his shot.
Very good.
Okay, but every night he does a shot.
Good. What shot? Is he on Levomir?
Yeah, in the leg.
No.
in the leg.
What's the name of the insulin?
What's the name of the medicine? L-A-N-D. Lantus. Yes.
Lantus, yes.
Yes.
Lantus is a long-acting insulin. Long-acting.
That medicine takes time. Not fast off.
Yeah. Long.
No.
Yeah.
That's
So
why one night.
it lasts, one shot lasts 18 to 24 hours.
4 hours. That's
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, one at night.
Yeah.
Excuse me, one more. My break.
He's done such a great job. This camera's already
Okay. Now, yes, Brenda. What does it mean, the gout? You were talking about gout. What is that?
The gout is a condition that inflames the bones and the joints. The joints are where two bones meet. Typically in the feet, the toes, and it's called gouty arthritis. Gouty arthritis. It's a severe inflammation of the bones and the joints that a lot of times it's an inherited dysfunction that can be aggravated by the foods that we eat. And it's usually a lot of red meats or seafood or something that's highly salt cured that usually triggers what they call a gouty attack. And it's G-O-U-T, gout.
Thank you. Yes, Beverly. Yeah, now, I've had that before. Oh, Lord, that is a killer.
It really is.
You me both, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had that.
It can put you in the bed for a day or two and unable to walk. It can be really severe. Yeah. It's pretty serious.
Not again. Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Now, with this gout, and now the gout will make something turn black, like a toe, and they cut it off?
No. Gout does not cause gangrene. You're thinking of gangrene. Gangrene is dead tissue, which we do see in diabetes. We can see people have to have amputations. Okay? But let me explain that. It's not that the diabetes itself causes a person to have an amputation. But let's discuss how that can happen. When
Yeah,
your
because my
blood
sister has that. Yeah.
when your blood sugar is really, really high, it makes your blood really, really thick. I want you to think about cooking, let's just say, for example, cooking sweet potatoes on top of the stove. Okay? We add butter and we add sugar to the sweet potatoes. Okay? If we turn that burner up as high as we can, those sweet potatoes are going to start to boil. Okay? After about 5 to 10 minutes, if we turn that burner off, those sweet potatoes are going to be as hard as a brick. Okay? The sugar crystallizes and turns hard. That's the same thing that happens in our blood, in our legs. That's a perfect environment. Our blood is warm. Our blood is hot. And when we have all that sugar, it causes it to be thick. So thick blood can't get down to our feet. That's called poor circulation. Poor circulation. And then usually people with diabetes might bump their foot. They might wear shoes that are too tight. Then they get a sore. And then that sore very quickly turns into gangrene, which is dead tissue. And then the only way to get rid of that is to cut it off. Okay? That's how so many amputations happen. Okay? That's how so many amputations happen.
Told you. Oh, now, I'm watching what you're saying. Boy, I am learning a lot from what you're saying.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I saw another hand. I'm sorry. What? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, Beverly, yeah. Well, I'm very glad you're here to teach us this stuff, about diabetes. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Oh, here, yeah. And I'm sorry, I wanted to jump in. Then why do people love chocolate? Chocolate cake or chocolate? Chocolate. What is the thing about chocolate?
Yeah.
Or chocolate cake even?
I just think it's something that we've grown up with. I'll say it again and I'll continue to say it. Food is who we are. From young infants, we're taught to love food. And people just grow very fond of chocolate. Not everybody likes chocolate. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's a whole lot of people's favorite.
People like chocolate.
Okay? So it's just an acquired taste. It's just an acquired. But chocolate contains sugar, but so does fruit.
Oh, here. There's one older lady who lost both legs. First the left and the right. And after you've explained it, I see why. But I'm wondering, did she eat something or drink something or?
In reality, if we knew about this woman, knew a little bit more about her, if she in fact had diabetes, it was probably because she had had it for a really long time. People that usually suffer from amputations do so, according to the research, after they've had diabetes, on average about 10 to 15 years. So they've had the disease for a very long time.
A long time, not now eat the cup, no.
No, it's a slow. But the thing about amputations is usually because the blood sugar has been high for so long. Okay? And then, the circulation is so poor that, even wearing socks that are too tight can cut off the circulation. Yeah, swelling and then blisters.
Well, I just wonder why they're so swollen up.
Yeah, because your veins carry all the blood down. And when your veins are clogged up, the water starts seeping out. The water cannot go down and come back up. It seeps out and it swells.
what caused swelling.
Okay, and salt.
Then my wife had that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Salt
And-
will cause it to swell more.
And I don't know, I have to ask about that, how it got swollen. If it's not diabetes, what else might it be if it's not that?
Blood pressure and or blood clots. Yeah.
Other reasons could swell. Oh, here, sure. Okay. The office, okay. So if somebody has the swollen knee and they have to cut that off, that they go to the office and get that checked.
Oh yeah, after the amputation,
Oh, yeah.
after the cutoff, definitely, because you want to make sure that the wound heals.
Yeah, no, I've got a friend who she keeps swelling up all the time in the leg, and they had to remove.
Yeah. Well, we have to have circulation. Our feet have to have oxygen, and the blood carries the oxygen. And when our blood can't carry the oxygen to our feet, our tissues start dying.
If no oxygen means your blood die. Your hair die. Yeah. My high blood pressure. How do I get that down? Is that something?
Well, if you don't want to take medicine, okay, then,
Well, I
okay.
do take medication, but I've been
Right.
taking it for so long, it
Right.
doesn't seem to be.
Well, we have to look at the salt. We have to look at the salt because salt makes us hold on to fluid. Okay? It's like a sponge. Salt is like a sponge.
Same.
Okay? So we got to take a look at the salt first and foremost. Okay? And then we have to take a look at how much stress do I have in my life? Because stress will cause your blood pressure to go up and stay up. Okay? Yes, stress can cause so many problems.
How do I do that?
How do you take a look at your stress? You have to pick some things that are important to you. One very simple technique is deep breathing. Okay? Deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Close your eyes and relax and deep breathe. Another good technique when you're stressed or upset is called positive imagery. It's a mind technique. And it's where we stop and think about a happy time in our life. Maybe it was a vacation that we took. Maybe it was something our children or our grandchildren did. Maybe it was a family reunion that you went to. But the thing about using our mind to relax is when we smile and when we have a happy thought, the body releases these natural morphine-like chemicals. Not the type of morphine you get addicted to. Okay? Your own morphine. They're called happy hormones. We can control our hormones and we can be happy when we smile and have a happy thought. It's very relaxing. It's very soothing.
One point, if the kidneys, okay, kidney what? If the kidney is affected by high blood pressure or
Yes,
something.
same thing. Too much sugar in the blood thickens it up. And your kidneys are very small. They're fist-like. They're about the size of your fist right here. And they do so much. They have to filter every something that's in your blood. So you can only imagine if your blood is thick, that means these kidneys and this heart have to work so much harder. Okay, so you have to take a look at, is it my blood sugar staying up that's causing my heart, my kidneys to work harder? Is it my blood pressure that's staying up that's causing my kidneys and my heart to work harder? Whatever it is, you have to fix that first.
That means exercise and stuff, right?
It can. Exercise is another way that the body releases those happy hormones. Okay, you may not feel happy while you're doing the exercise, but I promise you, afterwards, you will feel happy. You will feel happy because
Okay, a little bit.
now there's things that you can do without having to go to a gym, without having to go outside in your neighborhood.
Well, I do have a home exercise. I have a home exercising thing, you know.
Yeah, so it's whatever you feel that you can physically and mentally do. There's a lot of DVDs. You know, the things that I really like and the things that I've been really promoting lately are the bands and the balls. The bands and the balls and the little small arm weights. Those are so easy to do, and you can sit on your couch and you don't even have to get up. And this is what I encourage. People that don't like to exercise, people that might be lazy. We all know if we're lazy, right? Yeah. People who want to get started in exercise, let me tell you this. We get those arm weights, or we get those bands, okay? And while we're sitting on the couch in the evening time watching our best TV program,
Or watching the Grizzlies win.
yeah, okay.
see, Memphis
Every
Grizzlies.
time a commercial comes on, which on average is about every 7 to 10 minutes during a normal broadcasting time frame. Every time a commercial comes on, the average commercial is 2 to 5 minutes. So when that commercial comes on, get your weights and start doing your arm curls or do your leg lifts sitting on the couch until the commercial goes off. And after about an hour, you've done a 20 to 30 minute exercise program. Okay? But you didn't break a sweat. You are not out of breath. Okay? But you get the benefits of using sugar, lowering the sugar, lowering the blood pressure. We call it lazy man exercises. But it works. It works.
Yeah. You pro, yeah. So these boxes here, I'm curious what these are
Yeah.
for.
These
Oh, but can I ask something before we get to the boxes? Okay. Now, the doctor says if somebody has diabetes, then they say you have to have orange juice or something around.
That's if your blood sugar goes low.
Ugh.
Then you drink orange juice. Any type of juice. Any type of juice.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
If
right.
it's low.
That's right.
Yeah. You drink your juice.
Uh,
Orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, cranberry juice, any type. Yeah, any type.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Understand? Said that's orange juice. Drink if you sugar. Well, I'm just curious if I'm not that bad, but I probably need to start checking it still.
Yeah, it's a good thing because you know, tell me, how do you know if you're not that bad?
How do you know? I get a letter, and it says that you're a little here, and it gives a little finger, wagging, and says, don't eat this. So does that mean I have pre? Hey.
Yeah.
So you said now the pre-diabetic, yes.
That's the condition that comes before type 2. And it means the blood sugar is up, but not high enough to say type 2. It's that opportunity, that window of opportunity, meaning that if you do the things necessary to get in better health, you can prevent it. You can prevent it.
Yeah, I have high cholesterol. So and I've been taking medication for that for some time because I think that's a family thing that I have.
Right.
I just wondered, is it possible to lower the cholesterol
Sure.
by doing the
Walking.
same thing?
Walking lowers the bad cholesterol and raises the good cholesterol. Walking.
Cholesterol.
Yeah. I know, but that's the best proven way to decrease your cholesterol.
So it does take a long time to reduce it, though, right? I mean,
Well, you can eat more fiber, lower fat, Okay, eat more fiber.
Yes, more fiber.
More fiber and eat lower fat and walk. And that, I mean, you can lower your cholesterol in a couple months by doing that. There's a commercial. Yeah, there's a commercial about Cheerios. Cheerios has been scientifically studied. People who consume a small bowl of Cheerios every single day. Yeah, and oatmeal.
Or mix it, oatmeal or mix it with apple or something.
Exactly. Have been able to lower the cholesterol.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I know I had to limit cholesterol, like less pizza, grams and of the nutritional facts. I look at that. If it's less than 26 or something.
Yes.
That's what I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like low-fat cheese on your pizza. Most.
Oh, well, I mean, it's okay. I really don't eat that much. Like dairy, cheese, conditioned cottage cheese, dairy, I don't eat that much. Yogurt, I love.
Yeah.
Yogurt, I love.
Yeah. Yogurt is very low in cholesterol. Very low. And it's very good on the sugar content too.
Yeah, now mayonnaise has probably got all that stuff. But
Yeah, you want to get low fat mayonnaise or mayonnaise made with olive oil. That's the best.
Yeah, so I just wish there was something that didn't have any of that. The cheese, the yogurt, yogurt, cottage cheese, butter, cheese. I kind of just think I don't do that.
Yeah, well, that's your choice. You don't have to. Yeah.
Diabetic. Yeah. What is the difference of goat's milk or dairy milk? All of those things.
Yeah. A lot of times goat's milk will be prescribed in a person who is lacking some of the enzymes that are necessary in the small intestines. So goat's milk is just a richer milk. It's a rarer type of milk. It has a very distinct taste. It's not just a type of milk that you would want to go out and buy just because. It's usually medically indicated because something that's in the goat's milk is needed when it's not here normally in the intestinal tract. So there are some deficiencies which would require a person to do goat's milk. Now, if you have a lactose or a milk sugar intolerance, then you would probably want to be on a soy milk. So something like the rice milk or the almond breeze milk or the silk milk. Those have soy instead of lactose, which is milk sugar. Okay? That's the only difference. Yeah.
The difference. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Here, yeah. What about the milk? Oh, skim milk.
Skim milk just has very little fat. Okay, all milk has the same amount of sugar. It all has the same amount of sugar, but the difference between baby blue, which is skim milk, and red top, which is whole milk, is the amount of fat. The amount of fat is higher in the red top milk. It's thicker. It feels thicker on our tongue. Yeah, that's the only difference. Is the fat.
No.
Yeah.
Understood. So which is better, the blue or the red?
1% milk is the nutritional recommendation for adults, unless you have high cholesterol, and then they say skim milk is the best if you have high cholesterol. But just general standards is 1% for adult Americans. And then after your baby gets 2 years old, okay, only babies up to the year 2 should have whole milk. After 2 years old, we should transfer those babies over to 1%. Okay?
Yeah, because I drink it every night.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're still baby. Yeah. I'm sorry, I saw. Who had that hand up? Who had one? No? Oh. Okay. Oh, here. You said something about, the enzymes. What is the enzymes? Is that something that just kind of eats stuff up?
Yeah, you have in your stomach and in your intestines, your small and large intestines, we have good enzymes that help us get rid of bacteria and things that are still in our food, and that's why it's really important to cook our meat to a certain heat temperature because of the bacteria that's in meat, and also the correct storage of food after we've cooked it. You know, sometimes when you put the food in the refrigerator, after about 2 to 3 days, if you looked at it under a microscope, you would see all of these germs. And the body does a really good job in our intestines that kind of eat up all of those bad germs. So they're good enzymes that we need in our intestines so we don't get sick every time we eat something. So, you know, when we do get sick, or what is called food-borne illnesses, that means that the content of the bacteria was so high and overwhelming that our body could not handle or process it. That's when we start throwing up, or we have diarrhea, you know, that type of thing. Yeah.
Enzyme important in here
Good.
to
Good.
clean food while eating.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Okay, good. Okay.
Thank you.
Good?
Thank you.
Thanks for
you.
coming.
Thank
you. Oh, but let Teresa do your bit. Okay.
Would like to just say thank you so much for coming and spending your time answering so many good questions.
Very
that
good
they had.
questions. Very good.